Alrighty, so we're waking up really early in the morning and get ready to go to FedEx. Make sure to get that coffee in ya because it's about a 45-minute drive away, and let's get in the car and get driving.
One eternity later.
And back from the long drive up to the FedEx facility, we got a box here, so obviously the kids are going to take full advantage of sitting on top of that thing. And at this point, we're basically just herding these kittens around until we can get this box out of the trailer. Just kind of watch it unfold as we go along. But you'll see we'll get some sticks to kind of pry it away from the top section so that we get a good handhold on it. And then just yank it the rest of the way up and get it into the garage.
The next day.
So as you can read on the side of the box there, we got the Free Spirit Recreation High Country Series Rooftop Tent 80-inch Premium. I'll drop a link in the description below so you can check out a little bit of information on that tent from the Free Spirit website. But the main thing that we were going for with this tent is that it is a super quick deployment option. It's basically a couple of minutes from the time that you park to the time that you're fully set up, and we're getting ready to do a big road trip here pretty soon, so we wanted to have something that would be super fast to set up. So basically here you can see that rope that's hanging from the tree off to the side there. I'm opening up the tent over the top of that rope. I've got a pulley up in that branch just straight above. That way I can lift it up, drive the car underneath it, and then put it back down. Unfortunately, that footage got lost because the camera overheated right about the time that I was backing the car up, but I figured I would explain that so you kind of have an idea of how you can do this without having to throw your back out getting it up on the top there. This is the tent deployed and me trying to talk to the camera without a microphone that works, but you have to open the tent up to gain access to the pockets on the front and just kind of get a little bit of display for it. But there is a package of stuff that you get right in there. So this package of stuff includes instruction manual, nuts and bolts, various different things you need to get the tent up and going. So I'll pull that guy out and take a look here, and apologies for the sweat that I'm covered in right there. I'm sweating like it's August in Texas because I live in Texas and it's August. But anyways, taking a look here, we've got some really nice tent spikes there. I was actually impressed by those things. Instruction manual, a bag full of goodies that are the sandwich plates that connect it to the roof rack. And then there's that nice little fold-out kit with some screwdrivers and wrenches and Allen keys in there that all work together. But these are the pieces that you use to connect to the roof rack that fit into the channels at the bottom, and then a couple of close-ups of the rest of the stuff. Let's take a quick peek inside the instruction manual here. If you need to pause it, you can take a look at this in more detail if you would like, but there's really not a whole bunch in here. It's pretty straight and to the point. It has a couple of quick tips of how to do the installation and some ideas on how to do it. It has the parts list of everything that's inside, shows you how to put the pieces into the channel and how they connect together for that. Moving on to the next page, there's some tips and tricks of how to get it all put together. There's some useful information on there and a blank page for you. That's it. High Country Free Spirit 80. On this phase, we're already doing an upgrade to the roof rack. On the first install, you can see those really short pieces that I have underneath. I'm replacing them with an extra long bar that goes the full length of the Xterra roof rack. That way I have a lot more surface area in case those guys come loose. They can slide around a bit before falling off and causing any kind of damage to the roof or the rooftop tent. Additionally, with adding the extra length to that bar, I'm also putting an additional crossbeam across the middle. So we'll have three points across, going laterally across the roof, that the tent can sit on to support additional weight. So I'm putting together the connector points there. They just wrap around the bar like the other two, and there's bar number 3, and we'll get that tightened on. Now I'm moving on to the lifting portion. I got the tent all packed up and get the rainfly back on the top, and we're just going to lift it up a whole bunch of times and get this rope wrapped around it, tied off very securely. And right about here is when the camera overheated, and you'll get to see it magically appear on the roof. There we go. So I've got it up there, and I'm just taking that rope down, temporarily tying it on there so that I can back it up into the garage and attempt not to hit anything. And we'll take a closer look at how this thing gets installed. But first, a quick little break to play peekaboo with the baby. Okay, back to building. And right here, you're going to want to make sure that before you finalize the position of this, you open up your hatch and make sure that the glass isn't going to be connecting with any portion of the metal, and that you have some good clearance on there. Reposition the guy a little bit, make sure it's all good to go, and then you can pull these little rubber caps off the end and slide your hardware into place. This stuff goes into the channel real nice and easy. You're going to want to get it back to where you have one in front and one behind each post where you're going to connect it, and then you grab that little sandwich plate and you're going to mount it to the bar. On this part, while you're going around and hand tightening all the screws, the biggest advice that I give you is do not tighten anything down until you get it all into place. But you can see I wedged that little board up in there to get working in there because I've got pretty big hands. So at this point here, I had to request a little bit of help from the missus so that she could get her hands in there because I just couldn't quite reach. That we're pretty much installed, so let's just listen to the music play out and take a look at a couple of glamour shots. I'll throw some in there with the tent open and some closed, but enjoy.